sports leader, Nooga Radio, AM 1240 and 92.7 FM.
Hey, it's Nooga Radio Outdoors. You're listening on 1240, that's AM 1240 and 92.7 FM Nooga Radio. This is Cindy. I am so honored to be your host and outdoor activity, events, and adventure guide for our awesome outdoor community. And yes, Chattanooga is just such a hub. There's a lot of places with great activities, but this place has so many great activities, and we want to encourage you to get outside and get active. And we're going to be talking about a lot of events on this show, a lot of competitions, nonprofit fundraisers, anything related to getting active outside. Please let me know about it so I can help promote and educate and inform others about the activity and the event. And you can email me at nrocindy@gmail.com. That's nrocindy@gmail.com. NRO for Nooga Radio Outdoors. And I'm just so incredibly excited to have this platform to be able to share. Tennessee does not have very good statistics health-wise. We're one of the worst in the country there. And we want to make a difference and help people get outside, get more active, and live a healthy lifestyle. So speaking of healthy, I definitely want to encourage you for any of your catering options. For a best catering option is Chicken Salad Chick. If you haven't tried it, you're going to want to try it at one of their two locations. You can visit them at the East Brainerd location over by Target or downtown. They do have curbside pickup downtown. But again, it's a great catering option for your business party, your wedding, or whatever type event that you might have. And it is healthy, 0, 0, 0. I'm talking 0 carbs, 0 sugar, 0 gluten in the classic Carol recipe. So you can check them out at chickensaladchickchattanooga.com. That's chickensaladchickchattanooga.com. And again, Nooga Radio Outdoors wants to promote and encourage fundamental opportunities for change to how people live. It's important, folks. Being in your car or at a desk for multiple hours per day is not good for you. A sedentary lifestyle is not healthy. So it's not always about people not understanding that or not having the time or the desire. A lot of times it's just really intimidating to go join a new group, to connect with new people, to try something new. And that's where we want to help you by introducing you to a lot of activities and a lot of people on this show and make it easier for you to connect and be more familiar when you get there. The show is to give everyone access to the activities, events, and adventures found in the great outdoors. Again, it's based on my own personal passion for helping people. My love of the outdoors and my love of the Chattanooga area. And now I want to introduce you to our guest for the second part of the show. And it's Idris Garcia. And he's with I think it's Ultimate Frisbee, which is also associated with the Chattanooga Flying Disc Club. Did I get that right, Idris?
So the Flying Disc Club has two parts. There's the Ultimate Frisbee part, and then there's the disc golf part. So they're two different things, but we all, I guess, fall under the same umbrella.
Oh, okay. So it's two different things, but it's all associated because Chattanooga Flying Disc Club, it does throw you off a little bit because yes. I'm like, you mean Frisbee golf, right?
Yeah. So that's one component of it. We have, a director on the disc golf side who, helps out facilitate tournaments and events on the disc golf side. Whereas, the Flying Disc Club also has the Ultimate side, which they have a summer league and a winter league, and I'm sure they have other tournaments and events that they run as well. So.
Oh, it's going to be fun learning about all that. But first, Idris, I want to learn a little bit more about you. Are you from the area? Are you from Chattanooga?
No, I actually came over for college. I grew up in Memphis, so all the way across the state.
Oh, wonderful. But you're still from Tennessee.
Yes.
That's awesome. So what got you, when or how did you get involved with wanting to throw a Frisbee?
Well, I had seen there's a park that was close enough to my house in Memphis, and I guess I'd kind of seen the baskets, but never really thought much of what they were for, or
oh, there's
or anything like
baskets.
that. Yeah. So that's our hole.
don't
There's like a
know.
basket. So, after our freshman year of high school, we were going into summer, and one of our friends his brother had taken him out, so he introduced a mutual friend of ours to it, and then he said, "Hey, man, you got to come try this."
Yeah.
And so I went out one day, and I haven't stopped since. I mean,
Oh, I love it, and it's so much. This brings me. It's so much more fun to do something, or to me, I get bored easy with stuff. Even something like that I really enjoy, and getting involved with groups and competitions and things like that just make it so much more interesting.
Yes.
So baskets. Now I need a visual. I'm very visual. So lay the game out for me. How many baskets? What's the goal? Kind of. How is it in quarters? Just
right.
How does it work?
It's the game is pretty relatable to traditional ball golf, whereas instead of a club and a ball, you have a disc, which serves as your club and your ball. So you have a tee pad, which serves as a tee box, just as the same, in traditional golf. And the scoring system is the same. You have birdies, pars, bogeys, eagles, all of that. The basket is the hole, and it's kind of set up where there's, the top of it, and then chains hang from the top, and then kind of get narrower as you get to the bottom. And then there's a pole that runs right through the middle. I'm trying to be as specific as I can, because I know it's not an easy visual.
I've got a picture.
And then under the chains, there's a basket itself that catches the disc. So the idea is to hit the chains with your disc, and then it falls to rest in the basket.
Okay.
And that's how you hole out. Whereas, in ball golf.
Okay, so this is not a team type thing. It can be individual or a team. Is that how it works?
Yes. So it's an individual sport, just like traditional golf, but things like the Ryder Cup in golf, where you have the United States team against the European team. You still play individually, but your scores are counted together. There's events like that in golf, in disc golf too. And then we have this thing called doubles, where you have a teammate and you're playing against other pairings, and so you take your best throw and score that way.
All right, and I was just talking about that because I'm a golfer.
Okay,
and that's right, because I'm not. I call myself a golfer. I play golf.
That's same. Yeah.
But I play good enough that people don't mind me playing.
Okay.
That do play golf, and I play good enough to get invited to be on best ball teams, and I love that.
Yes, that's
because I love to be able the competitive thing without having all the pressure to be the best. It's just fun competitiveness, because it's I mean, there are times because it's like they'll save me for last, because I'm at the women's tee,
right,
and I have a nice shot down the middle. Right. So if the guys are trying to knock the devil out of it, and it goes everywhere in the wrong place, but then that does put pressure on me then, because it's like, all right, Cindy, don't do this to me. Let me go first. But when you give the golf analogy, I'm starting to understand it. But then there's a lot of people that don't understand golf, so it's good for us.
Right.
So are there nine baskets, like 9 holes? Or
there's it varies. There's certain courses. Obviously the most traditional tournament courses have 18 holes, just like you would find on a ball golf course. But there are smaller 9-hole courses in the area. There's some courses that have 27 holes.
Okay, so there's actually courses for this in the area.
There are.
All right.
Yep.
Tell me about a few courses. What would I be the most familiar with? Maybe what area where there's a course?
Camp Jordan. A lot of people know where Camp Jordan is. There's a course there that's a big 18-hole course. There's one at the Sinks. It's right across from DuPont, over there on Access Road. There's a soccer complex over there. That's another 18-hole course. There's an 18-hole course at Cloudland Canyon. A lot of people like to go up there and hike and camp and things like that. But you can also go up there and play some disc golf. And Mountain Cove Farms down in, I think, Lafayette has an 18-hole course, and that's 45 minutes to an hour, so not necessarily close. But those are our 18-hole courses in the area, and then we have 9-hole courses sprinkled around town. There's one at Jack Maddox in Ringgold. There's one at Shepherd, close to the airport. One at the bottom of Signal and one at the top of Signal. So
See, that's what I love about this. It's not just me sharing and helping others, but I love what I'm learning. I've been an outdoor enthusiast for a long time. I mean, I learned to fly. My first mountain launch was back in 1989.
Awesome.
And, I was in that culture. So you get introduced to a lot of different things and a lot of people doing a lot of different things. But it's so much fun to learn. You don't know what you don't know.
Right.
And that's what this show is about, folks. You don't know what you don't know. And we want to help all of us know as much as possible to get out there and get healthy and get active in the great Chattanooga backyard that we have, the wonderful, beautiful, scenic city that we have with everything that it offers. And again, you're listening. I'm talking to Idris Garcia from the Chattanooga Flying Disc Club here on Nooga Radio Outdoors, AM 1240 and 92.7 FM is where you'll find us on Nooga Radio. I'm Cindy, and I am your host and outdoor activity events and adventure guide for our community. And I want to know about more events and activities and associations and organizations, anything involved with getting outside. If it involves spectators, people getting involved, again, nonprofits, church organizations, email me. Email me at nrocindy@gmail.com. That's nrocindy@gmail.com. And I'll be glad to have you on the show or promote your event. And make sure that people who want to get connected can get connected. Okay, Idris, I've got a little better understanding about just now. I'm kind of excited, like I want to play. I believe my son's coming to visit me from Texas very soon. And it seems like I think he started getting involved in this in West Texas, like I was telling you.
Yeah.
So like like a new person, like, or let's even go beyond him, like somebody who hasn't played before and they're listening and they're like, oh, wow, that sounds like fun. That sounds like something I could really get involved in, or it sounds almost like, well, one thing, let me step back. Is there an age range, or do you get people from all different ages? Or
yes, I mean all different ages. Like you're talking about, something healthy. I mean, there's all sizes as well. I mean, there's people in the area who have used it as a tool to lose weight. There's a lot of people who use it as just a way to get active. You're saying get away from your desk at lunchtime. There's people who just get a quick round in at lunch. But it's really easy to get involved because it's so affordable. You don't need a whole lot of equipment. A golf club set that's nice is pretty expensive. Whereas you can start off with just one disc to learn how to throw. And pretty much every course, with the exception of Mountain Cove and Cloudland in the area, are free to play.
That is a great point, Idris. That's something I talk about a lot, is how much we can invest in our toys. And that's why I like my bike. I invested quite a bit in my bike, but that's it. Now I can just go get on my bike, and there's so many trails and with the riverfront and everything. I love to have that affordable activity. I mean, hang gliding used to be called poor man's aviation.
Yeah.
But oh my goodness, it's quite an investment to get started. I mean, but if you live in the area where there's lots of flying, once you do get that initial investment with the lessons and the hang glider and your harness and your helmet and your parachute and all that stuff, once you get all set up, it's pretty affordable. But that initial investment is pretty hefty. So I love that you brought that up. And I love that. And now, are there quite a few girls that play? Yeah,
and that's an area of the sport that could definitely grow. There's a lot of talk now about ways to grow the women's game. It's definitely an important aspect for any sport, and I think that's a big thing for us as well. But here in the area, there's a lot of women that play. There's a couple women that I know have traveled to several tournaments around the country.
Very cool.
Just from Chattanooga.
And that's something I'll be your go-to girl there. I really want to. I like to find a way to help women connect, and a lot of it. I'm a business owner. I'm a female business owner, and we have pretty good statistics here for female entrepreneurship. But I've been an entrepreneur for a long time. I was actually a commercial contractor in Houston, Texas, which isn't very common for a woman at all in a big city like that to be a commercial contractor. But in those situations, I'm so thankful that I hang glide and I golf and things like that, because it is a male dominated area. And, there's women that they're having trouble plugging in professionally, not getting recognized, but it's not just about your skills. Business is relationship, and it's not that anybody's trying to keep you out of anything. You need to be relatable. And I'm encouraging women to get in some of these active, more male dominated sports so that they can make relationships with men and get to have that that camaraderie and stuff and be a part of the team. It's not a man-woman thing.
Right.
It's just that men are, they're relating because they have these things in common. So I'm glad that I have some things in common so that I'm just part of the team. It's not like a man-woman thing. So off subject a little bit there, but not. That's another reason to get involved. I really want to encourage women. Golf. I talk about golf for women. That's a great it's a lifetime sport.
Absolutely.
I loved it. I encourage. We had the junior golf development program here Monday. Get them playing golf young. It's a great activity that you can play. But I can tell you that I will be out on the disc course. What do you call? Is it a?
Yeah, we just call it a disc golf course.
Okay, I'll be out there. You wait and see.
It
sounds like so much fun. Maybe we can do a remote or something.
Absolutely. Yeah,
that'll be a blast.
There's a lot of support, for new players here in the area. So
okay, I'm loving that, and I just want to repeat, people of all ages, all sizes, men and women. This sounds like a great activity to get started with being active. So tell me, if somebody that they're listening right now and they're like, okay, how do they start? Where do they show up, or what can they do?
Well, you can just show up at a course and say, hey, can anybody help me out? I'm new. I want to learn more. Can you take me out for a round? We have, you can contact Kevin Turner. He is the director of the Chattanooga Flying Disc Club on the disc golf side. He'd be happy to kind of facilitate, Is there
a general phone number you can share?
I'm not sure. I don't have it on me.
Or is there a website?
You just go, to ChattanoogaFlyingDiscClub.com. You should be able to find some contact information there.
Okay, that's perfect. ChattanoogaFlyingDiscClub.com.
And we also have a couple of events in the area where they're specifically designed for beginners. So several different disc manufacturers put out events where they try and test out new discs, but it's also on a smaller scale to just help people get involved in the sport and learn about it. So
any of that those types of events, those would be on the website?
Yes, they should be.
Do y'all have a Facebook page?
Yes. We have a Chattanooga Flying Disc Club Facebook page. There's also a Facebook page for just the Chattanooga disc golf scene in general. It's called Kettenkönig. I don't know. It's German. I'm not sure how to pronounce that because I'm not German. But it is also, I think it's AKA Chattanooga Chain Kings. So I don't know if you go on Facebook and search for Chattanooga
Kings. I like that.
Chain Kings, you'll be able to find it. So
I'll be finding it. It's like I almost hate getting introduced to new stuff because I want to do everything.
Right.
And it's really hard, but something that's not much of an investment. I mean, it's just easy to go check it out.
Yeah, there's not much of an upfront investment, and people like me, I have more discs than I need. So if somebody says, hey, I'm not ready to buy a disc yet, I don't know if I'll like it, can I borrow one? Absolutely. I had a friend yesterday who was taking a small group out for a disc golf outing and borrowed some discs. So I'm always happy to donate some discs to get somebody started, because I know that's how I started and I was hooked to it.
I love that, and thanks for sharing that, because again, speaking to the listener, that is a lot of the extra benefit from this. When you get involved in an association, a group like this, it's like instant family.
Yes,
and it was one of the things I loved about hang gliding. When you pulled up to a site with a hang glider on your roof, you had a whole bunch of instant friends. And so, when you show up at one of these, everybody's going to want to help you. It's the same way when people found out I was back in town and I wanted to get back in hang gliding. They started scrambling, and it's like somebody's dropping off a helmet, somebody's dropping off the book they learned to help me refresh on things and so forth like that. Somebody's dropping off a harness and a parachute. It's like they want to make people want to help you. They want to encourage. They love their sport or their activity, and they love introducing people and helping people, getting familiar and coming on board and supporting their activity as well. We had Wild Trails on yesterday, and that they've done so much with getting people interested, because a lot about it is taking care of the trails. And it's they have a genuine desire to help people get outside, which is you don't have to compete and run trails, but they started by just getting out and finding a way to clean up the trails, and I love that. All right. So when my son comes, if he's played a little bit, what would be, he can just show up at one of these and say, "Hey guys, what can I get in on?" Or
yeah, absolutely. There's the Sinks is probably the most popular course where a lot of people show up. So chances are, if you show up at the Sinks, you're going to find somebody to play with. We also have those doubles events I was talking about,
Yep.
Where you kind of play best ball in a sense. Sundays at the Sinks, Mondays at Portland Park, which is at the bottom of Signal, Wednesdays at Southern Adventist University. And just throughout the week, people some Saturdays
we'll
people set them up.
The website. Now, what is your personal role? Are you just like a participant, or like what is your association with the group?
I've just been, a club member for, since 2013 now, supporting the club and wanting to, raise awareness about disc golf. I think it can definitely have, an impact on Chattanooga as a city. That, I was talking to Russell about Morristown. They have one of the biggest tournaments in Tennessee every year. And, there's a big, economic impact for the city to be had there. So, it's just, it's a cool sport and a cool way for people to get involved. So.
I learned about it from somebody tried to steal my bike off the back of my truck.
Okay.
And I discovered it because every time I put on the brakes, I felt something was banging to the tailgate on my truck.
Mm-hmm.
And I finally had to get out and investigate. And somebody had tried to pull the pin rack. So the rack was hitting. And so I realized I headed straight to Ace Hardware. And this is when Kyle Burris was working over in Red Bank. And I went in and the pin's gone. You got to help me find it. And he worked with me and found something. Yeah. So we had a great discussion. And he told me about disc golf. And this was quite a while ago, but it had stuck with me because I friended him really quick. So I thought, well, when my son comes to town, I'd love to connect him with if that's something he's into. Right. So when I decided to launch the show, y'all were one of the first things I thought about. And now I can learn more about it. So I love that. So what kind of, to wrap it up here, what's the next event? Can you highlight something?
The next event, we just had a Trilogy Challenge, which was one of those beginner friendly events I was talking about. I think usually around August, there's an ACE race, which benefits the Chambliss Center for Children.
Okay.
They have a really small course there. It's a private course, so don't go trying to go on their property. But it's another one of those beginner friendly events that just helps people get into it and also support a really good cause in the Chambliss Center. So around end of July, early August, we can expect to see an ACE race coming up.
Great. Give us that website a couple more times.
It is the ChattanoogaFlyingDiscClub.com. ChattanoogaFlyingDiscClub.com. Even if you search Chattanooga Flying Disc Club on Google and then specify disc golf, just because, like I said, there's an ultimate frisbee part to it too. But hey, go get involved in ultimate too. That's another really nice, healthy activity. So.
Oh man, it all sounds great, and I can't wait to check it out. And thank you so much, Idris. Thank you for being here and introducing us to this great activity, this great sport. And again, listener, you've been listening to Nooga Radio Outdoors. I'm Cindy. I'm your host and outdoor activity events and adventure guide for our community. I want to hear from you. I want to know more great activities to share with our community and get everyone active and healthy. You can email me, nrocindy@gmail.com. That's nrocindy@gmail.com. Thanks so much. That's a wrap.
The Tennessee Valley's news, talk, and sports leader. Nooga Radio, AM 1240 and 92.7 FM.